This is a login page designed in a 3D format. So I did this with just HTML and CSS. If you need the source code, it is right there in the description of this particular video in the YouTube channel. So if you are watching from Facebook or TikTok, all you need to do is just go to my YouTube channel, get the download link in the description. All you need to do is just to give us a follow and then hit on the bell icon to always follow us on YouTube. So we're going to design this particular, we're going to code this particular login page again. So I'm going to take you through on how to code this particular login page. So I will quickly, I've created a folder for this. Let me open it. I named it login. So this is the page here, which is a login page. So under this now, I'll create an index. I'll call it index.html, and I'll create the second page. I'll call it style.css. So under this index.html now, I'm going to, so I'll click on the index.html, then I'll come here and hold my shift key and then click on 1 to generate this particular interface. So under the title now, I will name it 3D login page. So I'm going to code the HTML aspect of this login page inside the body. Mind you, it is being coded inside the body. So I'll come here now. First, I'm going to create a class, a container class named container underscore login underscore container. This container is going to be holding everything that has to do with this particular form. Inside this container, everything about the form will be added. So I will also create another container. I will name it login underscore test. So I will have my H1 inside there. I will name it login. So outside this container, I'm going to come under it, then I will create the form. So inside this form, I will have another container which is going to hold this particular form. I will name it user underscore input. So inside this user underscore input, we're going to have our input text, and then we'll have our label. I will give this a username. I will name it username. What I need to do now is just to copy from this user input. I will copy everything, copy, then come under here, then paste it back. So here now I will put password, here password. Then outside this div holding this user input, I will put the button. I will give this button a class. I will name it btn, that is button. Then here I will give it a name login. So let's view this. I will go live. All right, so see it now. So let us divide this into two. Remove this. So let's move over now to our HTML. to our CSS. So inside this CSS, the first thing I'm going to do is to remove the default padding and then the default margin. And then I'll put a box sizing, border box. Then go back to, okay, let's target this. Let's give it a background color. Let's give the body a background color. So let's target the body. I will say background color. A6998A. Okay, it's not reflecting. So let's go back to the HTML. Okay, we have not linked. We are yet to link this. So I'll just say style. So we've linked it now. So after giving the body a background color, I will display it as flex. If I display it as flex, I will give it a height of 100%, and then I will give it a margin of 60 pixel. All right, so let's move over now to the container holding this. Copy, just copy it. So I will target this container. First, let me give it a background color. I'll give it a background color A6998A. Then I'll give it a box shadow 5 pixel, 5 pixel, 15 pixel. Then give it a color. I'll give it a color 73540. I'll put comma. Then I'll give it a negative. Just watch what I will do now. All right. Sorry. All right. So look at it now. We've given it a box shadow. Let's give it a padding. Let's shift the right up inside. We need to shift the right up inside with this padding. So I'll give it 40 pixel. I will give it a width. I'll give it a width of 320 pixel. Then I will align all the whole text now to center. Text align, center. So we need to target the next thing now. Let's target this H1. So to target this H1, all we need to do is let's copy this. This is a better way to target the H1. I'll just copy this. Come here. H1. So let's give it a front size of 2 rem. So let's give it a color of B33339. Then let's give it a margin bottom so that it will shift from this input. It will shift from this input. So let's give it a margin bottom. This margin bottom, let's just give it 22 pixel. All right, it's nice. So let's convert the text now to capitalize. That is text transform. Let's make it capitalize. So the next thing now is, let's move over now to the next. I think we are done with this. Let's move over now to user input. User input. So under this user input, let's give it a position relative, then give it a margin of 20 pixel up and down, and then 0 left and right. So we'll go over now to our HTML again. Okay. Let's target this input. Let's target the input itself. So I'll just say, I'll copy this. User input, input. So I will give this input a width of 100%. Okay. If I give it a width of 100%, I will give it a padding of 10 pixel up and down, and then 15 pixel left and right. Then I'll give it a font size. Let's just say 1 rem. Then let's remove the border. Border none. And then let's give it a box shadow. Let's give it a box shadow. I will say is set. Okay. 8 pixel. 8 pixel. Let me give it 16 pixel. Then let me give it a color of 735,949. Okay. So, but before this, let me give it a border radius. Let me give it a border radius of 10 pixel. Border radius of 10 pixel. All right. So this is the border radius now. So if you watch now, this has an outline. It has an outline. If you click on it now, you will see the black line on it. So let's say, okay, first I will give comma here. Let me give it, I will say is set minus, let me bring it down, is set minus 8 pixel minus 8 pixel, 16 pixel, and then let's give it a color of D9 D0C1. All right. So the next thing now is, let me close this. The next thing now is let's give it a background color. A background color of A, sorry, A6998A. Okay. So we're giving it a background color now. So let me see. Okay, we've not removed this outline. So let's remove the outline. I'll say outline none. So if you check it now, you will not see the outline again. So we've removed the outline. The next thing now, just give it a transition. I will say transition or then 0.3 seconds is. So we are done targeting this particular input. The next thing to target now is the label. Let's target the label. Look at the label here. This label, the username, the password. So we are targeting the both of them once. So we just say label. So label. Let's give it a position no, not relative position, absolute. Let's give it an absolute position so we can be able to push it inside. So an absolute position, let's give it a top of 50%. Then give it left. Let's push it left. Left of 15 pixel. And then we'll then say transform translate y. Transform translate y minus 50%. All right. So transform translate y minus 50%. Then let's give it a font size. Let's give it a font size. Font size of 1 rem will not be bad. Yeah. Then let's give it a color. Sorry. A color of 043,860. Good. So what next will be? Okay, let's do text transform to capitalize and then pointer. Let's remove pointer event, none. So there's no more pointer event so that once you come here, it will just be normal text. So we removed the pointer event. So the next thing now is let's equally give it a transition. Let's give it a transition. Is that transition? Transition all 0.3 seconds is. So the next thing now is let's target the button, this btn. Remember I gave this button a class, so let's target the button. So let me give this button a width. I want this button now to cover the whole of this place, so let me give it a width of 100%. All right, so give it a width of 100%. I'll give it a padding of 10 pixel up and right, then 0 left and right. So I'll give it border. The border, let me remove the border. If you watch, there is border. Let me say none. Let's remove the border. Then I'll give it border radius. Border radius of 10 pixel. Nice. So border radius of 10 pixel, and then let me give it a background color. A background color of B939. All right. So let's give it a box shadow. The box shadow, I will say 3 pixel, 3 pixel, 8 pixel. Then let me give it a color 7 3 5 9 4 9. I'll give it comma. Then I'll say minus 3 pixel minus 3 pixel 8 pixel. Then let me give it a column of D9 D0C1. All right. So if you watch now, you see the box effect around this. So the next thing now is, let's give the right top a color, the right top inside there. So let's just say color. We'll give it the normal color of 04860. No. Let's give the right top a color. Let's give the right top a color. So I'll just say color 043 860. Then let's give it a font size of 1 rem. And then let's give it font weight of bolder. Let it be bold. All right. Let's give it text transform and make it uppercase. Everywhere good. Then let's give it a cursor so that once anything comes here, it points at it. Let's give it a cursor pointer. So look at it now because it's a login button. So the next thing now is, let's give it a transition of or 0.3 seconds, then is. Let us give, if you watch this, you see that there's no line spacing to it. So let us give it letter spacing. Let us say 1.5 pixel. Yeah, let there be little spacing to it. So there's something we need to do. If you watch this now, if I'm typing on it, you see that it is typing on top of it. I'm tapping on it, you see that it is typing on top of it. So there's something we need to do. So look at it now. Let's go back now to, okay, here. I'll just copy this. I'll come down here, put it here. Let's target the input first. So I'll just say input focus. We want to put focus so that focus plus label. So we are saying user input. The input, let it add focus and then the label. Sorry. So I'll just come here and I will say top 7 pixel, font size of 0.7 rem, and then let's give it a color of B. Let's use B939. So look at it now. If I click on this, you see, did you see it? The username will move up. Did you see it? So this is what we want it to happen, so that the person typing can see what he or she is typing. So the next thing now, I will also come here. I will still copy this. I will copy this. I will come here. I will say comma. I will put valid here. Then we will say box shadow. Let's give it a box shadow. Insert. Let's say 8 pixel, 8 pixel, 16 pixel, D96, no, D9D 0CI. Yes. So I'll still say insert minus 8 pixel minus 8 pixel 16 pixel. Then let me give it a color. I'll give it a color of 735949. So let's go back now to our coding. Let's go down. So we've targeted this button. So after this button now, let us do an active, so that once this button is active, like once you click on it, that kind of thing, once it is active, what happens? So let's just say btn active. I'll give it a background color, and let's just say transparent. Let it be transparent. Did you see it? Once you click on it, once it is active, the color changes to transparent. Can you see it? So let's give it a color. Let's give the right up a color of B939. And then let's give it a box shadow. Box shadow of insert 3 pixel, 3 pixel, 8 pixel. Let's give it a color 733949. Then I'll still put insert minus 3 pixel, minus 3 pixel, 8 pixel. I'll give it a color of D9D0C1. All right. So these are the effects. So once you click on it, you can see the border, the box shadow inside it. Once it is active, the color changes, the box size inside it, and everything. So this is what we really want to achieve. So let us see. All right, so you can see it here now. So all we need to do now is come here, go to the body. Was it the body? We targeted somewhere where we put margin. Okay, here now, instead of this margin, I will just do justify content to center. Okay, look at it now, it's at the center. I will say align text, align item, center. And instead of giving it height 100%, I'll just give it a height of 100 view height. I'll change it to 100 view height, and then here it is. So if you need the source code of this particular script, I said it is in the description of this particular video in YouTube. So all you need to do is click on the description, then you download the source code. And do not forget to give us a follow on YouTube. Thanks, guys.